Governor Adeleke calls for calm heads for appeal court to challenge the tribunal judgment. Governor Adeleke urged core members to sharpen their skills to strengthen national unity. German citizen arrested for treason in Russia. Good evening. Welcome to the major report. Babatunde Bolachito is my name. The Election Petition Tribunal of Osun State has invalidated the electoral victory of Governor Ademola Adeleke in the last governorship election and declared the former governor Adeboye Oyetola the winner of the election. The majority judgment by the chairman of the tribunal, Tessa Kume, admitted the petitioner's claim of overvoting on the strength of Beaver's report obtained by the petitioners from INEC. Staff reporter Adeboye Pupola was at the tribunal, now reports.
Tribunal chairman noted that the Beaver's reports that the petitioners tendered before the tribunal established that there were overvotings in 10 local governments. He maintained that by the provision of Electoral Act, the mathematical deduction of excess votes put the votes pooled by the former governor at 314,921, while Governor Ademola Adeleke total score was 290,266. It is on these results that the tribunal declared Mr. Adeboye Oyetola the winner of the last governorship election in the state, noting that the election was not substantially complied with Electoral Act. Earlier, the tribunal had overruled the objection by counsels for respondents that the Beaver's report from INEC server on which the petitioners predicated his case was vitiated by Section 104 of the Evidence Act, noting that the defects the respondents' counsels claimed were not materially strong to invalidate the admissibility of the documents. Justice Kume also held in majority judgments that the electoral register was not materially substantial in electoral disputes, saying the non-inclusion of the documents in the exhibits that the petitioners used to prove their cases did not discredit their claims of overvoting. The tribunal maintained that the Beaver's machine remained the primary evidence in the electoral disputes and is superior to all other electoral materials. The minority and majority judgment delivered separately by Justices B.A. Oguli and Kume were unanimous that the petitioners did not prove their claim in respect of certificate forgery against Senator Ademola Adeleke. Justice Oguli, who anchored the minority judgments, noted that the evidence on which the petitioners based their case, which is Beaver's reports, was not in existence and failed, as the data was inchoate at the time it was issued to the petitioner. Counsels for the parties spoke to journalists immediately after the judgments were delivered.
The dissenting judgment is what it is, and it's all about the issue of the opinion of that judge.
The reality on ground is that we are dissatisfied, and the necessary legal steps for the purpose of challenging that judgment, we will embark upon it.
I have a belief that the Court of Appeal has a duty here.
Adeboye Pupola, Osbc News.
In the meantime, Governor Ademola Adeleke has declared that he is still the governor of Osun State. In a statement broadcast on the judgment of the Osun State Election Petition Tribunal, Governor Adeleke says he has the right to appeal and that he had instructed his lawyers to appeal the judgment. Governor Adeleke said the claim of overvoting in the judgment of the tribunal's chairman was unfounded. According to him, the judgment is clearly a miscarriage of justice, but stating that the mandate given him by the people remain valid. Governor Adeleke expressed optimism that he will be triumphant at last, therefore called on the people to remain calm and go about the normal activities. The governor of Osun State, Senator Ademola Adeleke, has described the judgment of the governorship tribunal as a miscarriage of justice. In a release by spokesperson Malam Alawale Rashid, Governor Adeleke vowed to challenge the ruling at the Court of Appeal. The governor faulted the resolution of the overvoting question in favor of Mr. Oyetola, calling it an unfair interpretation against the will of the majority of voters. While urging his supporters to remain calm, Governor Adeleke insisted that he remains the rightful winner of the July 16 election. He expressed his conviction that justice will be done at the end of the day. Meanwhile, Osun State government has called on the people of the state to continue to go about their lawful businesses regardless of the split of the judgment of the Election Petition Tribunal. The spokesperson to the governor, Malam Alawale Rashid, made the call by reacting to the judgment. He said the governor has appealed the ruling and filed for a stay of execution.
Check the judgment of the tribunal. We are going on appeal, and you are all aware of the minority judgment, which clearly established that there was no overvoting, and Governor Adeleke is eminently qualified to contest the position. So we call on the people of the state to remain calm, and everybody going about their normal duty without fear of any molestation.
Nigerians have described the constitutional right of the people to seek redress in the court of law as one of the beauties of democracy. He also spoke with Osbc News against the backdrop of the verdict of the State Governorship Election Petition Tribunal, maintained that there is no alternative to democracy. Our reporter, Oluchi Amuda, who monitored the situation in town, now completes the story.
To some people, the day fixed to deliver judgment of the Governorship Election Petition Tribunal filed by former Governor Adigbo Oyetola and the All Progressives Congress contesting the July 16 governorship election is just a normal day as they go about their normal businesses. To some others, however, it was a day for serious work. Those that fell within this category include security officers, journalists, and members and supporters of the various political parties who are eager to hear the outcome of the verdict of the tribunal. The police, in collaboration with other security agencies in the state, were positioned at strategic locations to forestall any breach of public peace. Supporters of the two political parties exhibited high sense of loyalty and solidarity as they came out in their numbers and patiently waited for the outcome of the verdict of the tribunal. Speaking with Osbc News, Comrade Michael Ebofi and Mr. Bimbo Aduola described the situation as one of the beauties of democracy. They maintain that the ability of political parties to always air their grievances through legal means will not only strengthen Nigeria's democracy, but also ensure that peace reigns in the town.
There are still processes to be followed after a tribunal. You know, they can still go ahead if it's not pleasing to the parties. But it's one of the things that can really entrench good governance in Nigeria, that the democratic process is being followed duly so that there is no hanky-panky in whatever, and no one can just feel I can do what I want to do even if I have the authority or money or anything. But so far the process is there, and electorates are also there to judge and also to stand by their votes.
I will give confidence to people that when you cast your votes will be counted based on the beavers that is used to authenticate the voter, which naturally eliminates the issue of double registration. Beavers will take either your face, or fingerprints, and other things. So I will encourage all our men, all our people, get your PVC, go to your polling units, get yourself accredited, and vote with the candidate of your choice.
The police had earlier appealed to parents to warn their children in words to stay out of trouble and not allow themselves to be used by politicians to cause crises in the states. Oluchi Amuda, Osbc News.
In another development, protest has greeted a tribunal judgment that overturned the victory of Senator Ademola Adeleke at the July 16 Osun State governorship election. Some residents of Osun State confirmed that the Olaya flyover bridge, Osogbo, describing the judgment as unacceptable. Sahi Adeboye now brings detail.
The
These are some residents of Osun State. They claim to have given Senator Ademola Adeleke their mandate during the July 16, 2022 governorship election, but their mandate was overturned by the election tribunals. With various inscriptions on their placards, they rejected the submission of the tribunal against the incumbent governor.
Abracadabra justice will not stand. It will not pass the test of time. On the mandate given to Senator Ademola Adeleke, we stand. Injustice to Senator Ademola Adeleke is an injustice to all.
All sense of sincerity, the judgment has been rejected, not by PDP alone, but with all Osun State electorate. The crowd we are seeing here are not PDP members alone, but the electorate. They move in mass down to my office to come and register their grievances about today's panel judgment.
At a point, they shouted Imole to further reinstate their support for Governor Ademola Adeleke. The PDP Caretaker Committee Chairman, Dr. Adekunle Akindele, Mr. Sunday Bisi, and Reverend Bumijenyo assured residents of Osun that their wish that led to the election of Governor Ademola Adeleke cannot be stolen. They enjoined them to go about their lawful activities as victory is ascertained at the appellate court.
I mean, my message to the people of Osun in general is that they shouldn't panic about this kangaroo judgment. The judgment cannot stand the test of time. It cannot stand the test of time. I know by the grace of God, Osun people have spoken on July 16th. And the mandate remains with Governor Ademola Adeleke. Adeleke is not a coward. He would defend the mandate given to him by the people of Osun State. So the people should remain calm. Ademola Adeleke is still in control and will forever be in control. He is going to spend 8 years in this government.
In the meantime, the protesters have expressed their belief in the ability of Governor Ademola Adeleke as the state's helmsman. For Osbc News, this is Saeed Adeboye reporting.
Also, a former Deputy National Publicity Secretary of All Progressives Congress APC, Comrade Stephen Frank, has urged the National Judicial Commission and Economic and Financial Crimes Commission (EFCC) to probe Osun Tribunal judges, saying the judgment is compromised. He described the majority judgment of the Osun State Governorship Election Petition Tribunal that purportedly sacked Governor Adeleke as highly compromised. In his reaction to the judgment, Timmy Frank said the verdict fell short of expectation and does not reflect the will of the majority of the people of Osun who freely elected Governor Adeleke as governor. He called on the National Judicial Council to urgently cause a probe of the verdict with a view to restoring Adeleke's mandate, as well as penalizing any of the tribunal members found to have compromised on integrity. In another development, the Speaker of Osun State House of Assembly, Honorable Timothy Owe, has expressed satisfaction on the judgment of the State Election Petition Tribunal. This is contained in a statement by the media aide of the Speaker, Mr. Kole Alabi Minoshobo. The judgment was delivered by Chairman of the Tribunal, Justice Tese Kube. The Inspector General of Police, Usman Baba, has tasked police mobile force commanders to teach their men to be professional, firm, and decisive while deployed for the 2023 general election security management. The IG gave the charge during the closing ceremony of a 2-week combat training and seminar for heads of police mobile force squadron and formations nationwide, which was held at the Police Mobile Force Training College in Larogo, Osun State. The first spokesperson, Olumiwa Adedobi, revealed that the IG was represented by the Assistant Inspector General of Police in charge of PMF, Ali Janga, emphasized the need to be apolitical and professional in their conduct and exhibit all forms of humility and humanity by shunning corruption and all forms of illegality. Adedobi noted that Baba has therefore assured the police as the land agency and coordinating arrowhead for election security management in the country is unrelenting in ensuring that officers are adequately prepared and ready for a secured and peaceful electoral process to bequeath to Nigerian free, fair, credible, and acceptable election in 2023. The newly sworn-in members of the 2023 batch A Stream 1 of the NYSC Corps deployed to Osun State have begun to see their call-up for national service as avenue for them to sharpen their skills for strengthening the unity of the Nigerian nation. The government claimed the charge while performing the swearing-in and official opening ceremony of the Corps members at the NYSC Permanent Orientation Camp in Ede. Ahead of the general election, Senator Adeleke enjoined Corps members to live above reproach in the discharge of their duties and electoral officers and justifying the confidence reposed in them by the electorate. Governor's Office correspondent Abdurrahim Adekilekun now brings the details.
Honor, the newly deployed Corps members of the 2023 Batch A Stream 1 mounted a guard of honor to welcome Governor Ademola Adeleke to the NYSC Permanent Orientation Camp, Ede. The governor was led to the parade ground where he took salute while national, Osun State and NYSC anthems were rendered. In his address, Governor Adeleke asked the youth corps to see their service year as a time to contribute their quota to the development of key sectors of the societies where they will be deployed for their primary assignment. He assured them that the state government will provide adequate security for them to be able to serve their fatherland and called for the expansion of source of funding for the scheme to be able to build on its gains. He enjoined them to take the 3-week orientation course seriously, saying that government has put the scheme together for a greater task of nation building.
This is your time to discover your purpose as stakeholders in the Nigerian project. To support your transition into nation building, the NYSC scheme is being funded to enhance the development of different sectors and grassroots level. I enjoin you to take your trainings during the 3-week orientation course and indeed service here seriously. This is a demonstration of your life. You must take it count. Our government will continue to provide adequate security and friendly environment for you to serve the nation, make friends and live freely with one another. What brought us together as a nation is more and stronger than what will divide us.
Senator Adeleke stressed that Osun State is beautiful with peace-loving and accommodating people. Earlier in his address of welcome, the state coordinator of NYSC, Mrs. Abdulwahab Olayinka, welcomed the Corps members to the first post-COVID ceremonial swearing-in ceremony in the state. She explained that a total number of 2,059 Corps members, comprising of 1,509 deployed to the state and 550 others dislodged from Lagos for orientation in Osun State, have reported for camp. She admonished them to always deploy their social media handles positively and avoid spreading hatred and fake news.
I wish to appreciate His Excellency, the Executive Governor of Osun State, and the good people of Osun State for their support for the scheme and our members. The provision of a conducive environment and welfare for Corps members has been a motivating factor for Corps members serving in the state. Thank you, sir, Your Excellency. The 3 weeks orientation course, which is the first phase of the service year, is sacrosanct to the achievement of the NYSC objective, its vision and mission.
Earlier, the Chief Judge of Osun State, Justice Oyebola Adepele Ojo, who was represented by Justice Olusegun Agbola, administered oath of allegiance and service year on the youth corps. High points of the ceremony was the cultural display, thug of war and salute to the governor. On the entourage of the governor included the Secretary to the State Government, Alhaji Teslim Igbalaye, Chief of Staff to the Governor, Alhaji Kasim Akinleye, among several others. It has been Abdurrahim Adekilekun reporting.
Osun State Governor, Senator Ademola Adeleke, has described Chief Minister Babatope as a frontline nationalist who has dedicated his life to service for fatherland with progressive ideology. The governor made this known at the 80th birthday celebration and book launch held in Ilesha. Governor's office correspondent Ibrahim Adekilekun brings details.
Osun State Governor Senator Ademola Adeleke stormed Ilesha to celebrate the ace politician and former Minister of Transportation, Chief Ebenezer Babatope, who clocks 80. Speaking about the historical antecedent of the Ilesha-born politician, Senator Adeleke described Chief Babatope as a politician of note who has high regards for rule of law, due process, and good governance. Governor Adeleke said posterity will not forget Chief Ebenezer Babatope for his firm adherence to the progressive ideology and good governance, stressing that Nigeria needs more of his type.
He believed in due process. Any country, show us rule of law, show us due process, we are wasting our time. That is why he was a draft law. He president, only President Buhari, you may be in APC and PDP. But this electoral act that you have signed, I have to come and tell you, thank you, you have done very well.
He used the occasion to appreciate people of Ijasha land for their support during the last governorship poll and enjoined them to vote for PDP candidates in the general election scheduled for next month.
When we have true democracy, if I to invest, I'm happy to tell you today, for all the advice that have been for me, where our 100 days of program is on already, everywhere. So by the time of March ending, you know what to talk about. Only government is a continuous process. I've already embarked on that goal, going towards economic. Whether you are PDP, whether you are APC, but we'll be glad to say it is PDP government that did it.
Responding, the octogenarian lauded the governor for being a man of the people whose antecedent is traceable to his late father, Senator Ayola Adeleke, and his late elder brother and first executive governor of Osun State, Senator Isiaka Adetunji Adeleke, who were known for their people-oriented politics and lifestyle. He thanked the people of Osun State for standing firmly with the governor, whom he described as a true Omoluabi and a God-chosen governor.
Governor Jackson Adeleke tó ń ṣe ní ọ̀bá yìí tó lè ṣe aṣojú rẹ̀ fáwọn ènìyàn. Lágbàá olókùnrin ní òun ní tẹ́ lágbàá olókùnrin ní ojú òní tiẹ̀ lágbàá olókùnrin àwọn ojú ìfín nílé Ọ̀ṣun State àti gbogbo Ọ̀ṣun State lọ sí ilẹ̀ mìíràn tí wọ́n ń bá wọn. Happy to be identified with Senator Adeleke. I'm happy to be identified with his family. I'm happy to be identified with a man who believes in service to the people. Not who believes that we can only serve them when we are honest about what we are doing.
High point of the event was the presentation of a 15-chapter book that was co-authored by Sunday Adewusi and Smollett Shitu Alamu, titled The Comrade of Our Time, a biography of Chief Ebenezer Babatope, Ebinotopsy, to chronicle the life history of the 80-year-old politician, journalist, activist, lawyer, writer, and public commentator, as he joined the class of octogenarians on Thursday, 26th of January, 2023. It has been Abdurrahim Adekilekun reporting.
Now welcome to our sports segment. Super Eagles goalkeeper Francis Uzoho is currently Nigeria's best shot stopper in Europe this season. According to the statistics, the Nigerian has kept more clean sheets than any of his compatriots in Europe this season. The informed Omonia Nicosia goalkeeper has kept 8 clean sheets in 15 games, conceding 14 goals so far. This time, the best return so far among the top Nigerian goalkeepers in Europe. The 24-year-old contract with Omonia ends at the end of this season, with the player open to a potential exit. Reports League One club stayed reign interested in his service. Apple Jerusalem goalkeeper Adebayo Adeleye is the second-rated Nigerian keeper in Europe after keeping 6 clean sheets in 15 games this season, conceding 16 goals, while Sebastian Osigwe is third in the ranking, having kept 2 clean sheets from 3 games so far this term for Lucado. A German citizen has been arrested on suspicion of treason for alleged involvement in a scheme to pass intelligence to Russia. The man, named only as Arthur E., was arrested at Munich Airport with the help of the Federal Bureau of Investigation. He is thought to be linked to a German Foreign Intelligence Service employee who was arrested in December for allegedly spying for Russia. Prosecutors have said Arthur E. does not work for the intelligence service. Instead, they believe he passed on information from his acquaintance, the detained BND officer known as Carsten L., because of privacy rules, to the Kremlin, making him an alleged accomplice to Britain. The alleged double agent was later found guilty of handing over documents to the Central Intelligence Agency and Russian intelligence and sentenced to 8 years in prison. That report concludes tonight's major report. It was edited by Adebari Ejimakinde. Babatunde Bolatito is my name. Good night.